Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Honda, and I'm checking out a 2022 Honda Civic in the LX trim level. This vehicle is sitting on 215/55 Hankook tires wrapped around 16-inch steel wheels with wheel covers. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors in the front and solid rotors in the back. The name of this color is Meteorite Gray, and it's really nice, like a steel-looking color. And it's a metal flake, and it's a good alternative to, say, black or other dark colors. So here in the front, you can see it has a lot of flat black here in the grille. And you can see it because it extends here underneath each headlight. And the headlights are a multi-reflector LED. I have a full night video on a touring, so you can check that out. Now these little placeholders here, there's no fog lights on this trim, but it does have these little placeholders that kind of keeps the style as if it did have the fog lights. Taking a look at the profile, it does have body colored handles and the upper portion of the side mirror. The pillars are a matte black here, so if you were to tint the glass, it'll kind of solidify this area. If it was gloss black here, it would solidify a little bit better. Now it does have a chrome strip on the upper side of the glass right here as well. This is what the key looks like, and it's relatively, rounded and not too heavy, so you can kind of carry it around with you. It's a new design for this year, and it has lock, unlock, the ability to open up the trunk, and a panic button, and a physical key on the inside. Let's go ahead and push the panic button, so we can hear what the horn sounds like. When you push and hold and open up the trunk, it just pops it like that. It doesn't go all the way up, but it does give you the ability to lift it up from there. Now this is a partial proximity key, so it does not have the smart entry system. So when you have the key, you do have to push unlock basically to unlock the doors. It doesn't have any sensors here on the handle, but it does have the push button start when you get on the inside. Here's the inside of the passenger side door, and it's mostly black in color. It does have a metallic handle and some white contrast stitching here on the armrest. And the armrest in this area right here is cloth, soft touch, and the rest of the door is a hard touch surface. Here and here, all that is hard touch. Now this handle is enclosed, so you can utilize that as a pocket if you want, and then the larger pockets here at the bottom. Manually adjusted cloth seats in this trim. It does have a little bit of a contrast stitching in it, and a pattern there in the center, kind of giving it a little bit of style. Of course, this one has the black interior. There's the legroom, plenty of legroom, nice wide open space. Now, the glove compartment is not locking, and it opens up with a soft landing, and it's smooth plastic on the inside. It's all hard touch surfaces down there, and soft touch up here. It's like an injection molded type non-reflective surface here. But check out this gloss black and this honeycomb going on, kind of hiding the vents and everything. Here's the inside of the back door, very similar styling as the front. All of it's hard touch, including here now. The only soft touch is right here on the armrest. This is enclosed, and then you have the pocket at the bottom. It does have a bench type seat and no armrest in the middle that folds down or anything. It does have the latch system for car seats with a little cover here so you can get to them. Now this seat back does fold down in one solid piece to add to your cargo space in your trunk. And there's no map pockets on the back of the seats here. There's the floorboard. It does have a significant hump there in the center. Nothing on the back of the center console. Taking a look at the back of the vehicle, it does have a body colored shark fin antenna here. The third brake light is at the base of the glass right in here. It does have a little bit of a contour to the trunk, kind of like a deck lid spoiler, but it's actually just part of the metal. The backup camera is significantly offset way over here. The exhaust is pretty well hidden. The exhaust actual outlet is here. These are reflectors, no lights here. The tail lights are LED, so it has an LED tail light and brake lights, but the turn signal and reverse lights are standard bulbs. There's two ways of opening up the trunk. One is there's a button up there next to the driver's seat, and the second one is the key, which we already saw that before. There is no button under here to release the trunk. So you can see this is the tag light and there's no button. There is insulation on the underside of the trunk. And the trunk space is really good. It looks really pushed out. Try to push as much room in here as possible. It does have a spare tire and tools, and a fold down seat to add to your cargo space. And you'll notice there's some exposed metal under here, so you want to be aware of that. When the vehicle's locked, the fuel door is locked. When the vehicle is unlocked, it also unlocks the fuel door. And it's a capless design. As long as you have the key inside the vehicle, you can start it up by putting your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this button. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now the floor mat actually connects here into this. So the floor mat's not in place, but it does have two places for it to actually be secured and not twist around or move on you. There's your accelerator and brake pedal and a large footrest here on the left side. Let's take a look under the hood. The latch is back here, and pull it out. The latch is in the very center, a little bit to the left of center. You reach in and you move it to the right. So there's the latch right there. It's down to the right like that. And you lift it up. It does require a prop to hold it up. And there's two places to put the prop. You can put it in this position or this lower position here to lift up the hood a little bit more. But here's the engine compartment. It has the insulation underneath the hood, as well as the firewall is almost completely insulated. There's also some heat shielding back there as well. And these shock towers are braced in with the unibody structure of the vehicle, and the ACE body structure is pretty interesting. You can look into that if you're interested on the safety of the actual structure of the vehicle. It's called the ACE body structure for Honda. Now the battery is easy to get to there on the right side, and the exhaust is here on the front. The intake is there in the back. Now this vehicle is powered by a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine putting out 158 horsepower, and it's paired to a CVT, continuously variable transmission. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So there's power windows here. Front, your automatic one-touch up and down. Door lock controls, side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and adjust it with this little pad, and then you have the ability to release the trunk there. Manually adjusted cloth seat for the driver's side, but it also has a height adjustment in addition to the other adjustments that the other side had. So having the ability to raise and lower the seat. To the left of the steering column, there's the dimmer switch for your interior gauges. The ability to turn off traction control, default is on. When you push this button, it takes you to the setting to turn on or off the collision mitigation braking and the road departure mitigation. The steering column is a tilt and telescoping steering column that you lock in place with this lever. I'm sitting in the driver's seat checking it out, and I have this driver's seat all the way back and all the way down. I'm 6 feet tall, to give you an idea of the potential legroom here, and it's a little bit too far back for me. So even if you're a little bit over 6 feet tall, you shouldn't have really a problem with driving this vehicle. So it has a synthetic steering wheel. There's no leather or anything, but it does have like this leather, synthetic simulated leather texturing, which feels pretty nice. Now the benefits of this type of steering wheel over a leather wrapped is that it's very easy to maintain and clean, and also there's no stitching on the inside. Some people don't like the feel of that stitching kind of bulking up in the center of the steering wheel. So this is a really, you know, very functional and looks good, easy to clean, and very robust steering wheel. So there's quite a bit of gloss black on it, so you will need to have a cloth to wipe it off frequently, and there's quite a bit of gloss black in here, so that's a good idea to have one. So the cruise control is here on the right side, so you turn it on, and then you have set this little toggle switch here. Going down is set, going up is resume. You can also change your speed by going up and down. You can cancel here. It's also part of the adaptive cruise control, in which you can set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you by pushing that button and rest on the distance that you want. And this one is to turn on the lane keep assist. So it actually turn the steering wheel and keep you in the lane that you're driving in. So it has a camera right behind this mirror, and it can keep an eye on the road, in addition to the radar adaptive cruise control. On the left side of the steering wheel, you have the volume for the radio, change to the tracks on the radio, change the audio source on the radio, voice recognition, and then this home button and this little scroll wheel corresponds with little screen on next to the gauges there. I'll get to that in a minute. Here on the right side, the right stock is the windshield wiper stock, and then here is the turn signal, but it also has the headlight switch. So you have off, automatic, parking, and headlights. Now I have a full night video on the Touring, so you can see all the potential lighting options that the Civic has. Here's the gauge cluster, and it has the speedometer there on the right side, a digital speedometer here in the middle part, and it shows the status of your headlights. It has automatic high beams, which is pretty cool, and what gear you're in, the odometer, the outside temperature, fuel gauge is there at the bottom, and the status of your safety systems there. Now, this is the tachometer right now, but we can also get some more information there. So using this home button and this scroll wheel, we can change this. So if I push the home button, it says no content, and that's what we had before. We can go to warnings, none. We can go to range and fuel and have that information here. Speed and time. Driver attention. The status of the seat belts. So if you got kids in the back or whatever, and if you want to make sure everybody's got their seat belts on, it'll show you the status of all the seats here. If the seat is occupied, and if the seat belt is buckled or not. Show you the maintenance, like the oil life. Safety and support. Shows you the status of that. And you can go in here and select the ones you want to turn on or off. And here's your settings, and then you have vehicle settings. Customize display. We can select the ones that we want to have in here, on or off. Or we can choose no content like I had before. So it kind of gives you a quick rundown of what that little home button and scroll wheel does. Now, when you push the home button, it pops up the screen there, and then you use the scroll to make the selection, you push in on the scroll wheel. So that way you make the selection by pushing in. And it is a rubberized little scroll wheel, which is nice. Some vehicles just have like a plastic one. This one is easy to scroll it without actually accidentally pressing it. So I really do appreciate the that little touch there. Alright, we already saw the start button. So the touch screen here is, there's quite a bit of a glare on the camera, but I can see it pretty good. There's a little bit of a glare, but as far as you know, seeing it in real life, it's much better than what the camera is showing. So it does have a physical volume knob tuned to the stations, and Bluetooth. It does have the Bluetooth connectivity, and you know, more basic stuff here. So there's radio, phone, media, and connect your cell phone. Now, you do have the ability to have Apple CarPlay Android Auto capabilities, and these physical buttons right here kind of make quick selections, and there's a menu and back. So the menu takes you to your settings, and then you know, you can scroll through with the touch screen and choose the one you want. So let's go to the radio. It just has AM and FM. There's no satellite radio. But once again, you can use the streaming on your phone and utilize a lot of the features that your phone has, like satellite radio. And there's a digital clock here that's always up there. And the physical buttons are a nice touch. You can quickly go to the main features of the radio quickly. The four-way flashers are here. Climate control. It's really nice. These knobs are really nice, and it has this illumination around each knob. And make sure it's not blowing on the camera. So you can change the temperature here, like so. The fan speed here, if you want to manually do it, it'll show on the screen up here what's going on, the status of your fan speed. Your temperature will display here. And then this knob, as you turn it, it'll change the mode. It's like where you want the air to blow. Now you also have the automatic function. So you can push that, set the temperature, and it will automatically adjust the fan speed and where the air is blowing. Alright, recirculate the air, front and rear defrosters, and of course the air conditioning can all be controlled manually. 12-volt power supply and a USB port for connecting your cell phone, also for charging as well. Little storage compartment here. It is a rubberized bottom, and this is something you can take out, clean, put back in. Here's the shifter. When we put it in reverse, the backup camera is a multi-angle backup camera with a really wide view, more linear view, and then a straight down behind the vehicle view. It's not super high clarity camera, but it does. This is a functional tool, not really like a cinema, so it gives you the ability to see behind you, and that's the main thing. There's neutral, drive, sport mode, and then low range. So low range is engine braking if you're going downhill for an extended period of time. Here's cup holders, and it has these little articulating arms to take up the slack for different size cups. I wish the Ridgeline had that. And then here is the eco mode. Turn off the auto start stop feature. Electronic parking brake. It engages the rear wheels. To turn it off, you hold the brake and push it back down. And then the auto hold, brake hold feature, actually if you have that turned on, it'll apply the brakes and hold the vehicle for you when you come to a complete stop, whether you're in drive or not. So if you're sitting in traffic or whatever, you want to use that, or stop lights for a long period of time, you can do that as well. Your armrest is a cloth armrest, and it is fairly soft. Yeah, it's pretty soft. It lifts up, and it's kind of spring-loaded, so it doesn't slam back down on you. It lifts up, and you have this little tray you can put here or here, and it has this little thing on the underside showing you the car, the Honda. Honda Civic. History goes on. And then you have a compartment below it. Now the compartment has like a rubberized portion at the bottom that's removable. You can remove it, put it back in. I'm gonna take it out so you can see what I'm talking about. And then there's the what it looks like inside. There's no ports or anything like that inside this compartment. The rearview mirror has a manual day and night mode. There's some ambient lights shining here, here, and here. And then you have some quick reading lights as well. The visors are cloth like the headliner. And there's a mirror but no light. There's no clip or anything for putting your registration or anything up here, any papers. Taking a look at the visibility there in the back. The pillars, the far pillars do have little windows between them, and there's pretty good amount of visibility as far as, you know, just looking out the window and seeing out the mirrors, that kind of thing. Of course, it has the backup camera to help out as well. All right, so there you have it. Thank you for watching, and thank you to East Coast Honda here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'll see you guys next time.